panel number 5 with the headline Cultural Sovereignty and Government Support for Film in Africa. And the main discussion will be how African countries can support the film industry and how African countries can fuel the work of filmmakers. So please welcome on stage a film commissioner from KSM Films, Adama Konkobo. You can welcome the guests with an applause on stage here, and Cyrielle Raingou, founder Je Capture Ma Réalité, will be a few minutes later. And please welcome the host of this panel here. She's an actress, producer for Jamaica and UK, Simone McIntyre. And I'd like to ask you to take your seats, silence the talks, and all attention to the stage, please. Thank you very much. The stage is yours.
Are we on? Yes, we are. Enrico, and who's there talking? Filmmaker? Anyway, is it here or no? So our session today is on the role of public policy in amplifying African countries' cultural sovereignty. And my name is Simone McIntyre. I'm your moderator for the session today. I'm an actor producer from London. I also have a film here in the market. To start the session off, we are going to have a presentation video, or a couple of little presentation videos. So do I have a signal from someone? Are they just going to play?
Ok, ça va? On peut y aller? Le technicien, ça va ok? Les acteurs sont-ils prêts? Chiesa, le son c'est bon pour toi? Ok, concentrez-vous, concentrez-vous, concentrez-vous. On est là pour faire du cinéma.
That was it. I thought it was another one. Okay. So Enrico, would you like to start the session off for us by just telling us a little bit about yourself and your foundation, your organization, the OIF?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. It's a real pleasure and honor to be with you and with the guests. Thank you very much. I would like, in a few words, I think, to at least to explain to you my standing point, where am I speaking from, what is La Francophonie, not as an advertising, but just to make it clear, because La Francophonie is not France. La Francophonie is, although it's based in Paris, La Francophonie is an organization which unites 56 member states, of which 29 are African and 27 are non-African, but mostly from the global south. So Africa is the majority of our owners, let's say, stakeholders, and my bosses, for example, in the past few years were from Rwanda, from Egypt, Gabon, or Madagascar. So the the role and the mission of the Francophonie is to promote the cooperation between the member states and also in the cultural field. Our motto in the cultural field is to fight for cultural diversity. What is cultural diversity? If you're not familiar with the concept, it's very simply the right of every citizen, of every person to read, to listen, to watch in its own culture, in his own culture. In a way, let's say cultural diversity is the opposite of cultural imperialism or cultural colonialism. I can watch what I want, and I don't want to watch only things that are imposed to me and that are in a way aggressive. Why do we speak today of cultural sovereignty and not cultural diversity? Cultural sovereignty is a word that is like geopolitical, and it's a word that you hear when you speak of wars, for example. I would like to say that nobody pays with no purpose. Nobody pays with no purpose. So the question is, who pays for African cinema? Who puts the money in? Will be, in a way, owning what is being financed. So, apart from a few countries like Nigeria, I mean, Nollywood is something that is absolutely exceptional, but Nigeria sits on a very vast internal market and can amortize and can export. Apart from this country and apart from maybe South Africa, which has a financing model that is very comparable to one of a European country, and apart from Morocco, who spends 7 million a year supporting the creation of Moroccan films, all the African funds put together are about $2 million a year per year. 2 million, which is roughly what France alone puts into African cinema, which is roughly what Qatar alone puts into African cinema, which is 10 times less than what Saudi Africa puts into African cinema, 10 times less. And then I'm not speaking of the American streamers because we don't have the figures. I'm not speaking about the French pay TVs because we don't have the figures. I'm not speaking about the Chinese because we don't have the figures. So this is why I asked to invite these people, because what we try to do at the Francophonie is to help and support our member states to create their own content and with autonomy. And so we do this, we support this in two directions. One is direct financing, direct funding to films, to film producers, and the other is support those countries who decided, like Ivory Coast, to have, or like Rwanda, to have their own film fund. And so, sorry if I've been long.
No, that was great.
This is why today we'll have Adama, who is running a film fund in Ivory Coast. Rwanda is an emerging film fund. Unfortunately, the fund was created before you did your film. And then we'll have our Cameroonian colleague who is late because she's looking for money. She's at the co-production forum. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to Adama, can you tell us a little bit about your work at the Film Commission in Côte d'Ivoire?
Okay, thank you very much, Simone. Hi to everybody. I'm Adama from Côte d'Ivoire. I apologize for my English. It's very clear, Simone. And I will do my best to be clear. And my first question is, we here don't know Côte d'Ivoire. Sorry. Yeah, it is country of the Yoruba magic system. And I know that I remind you that we are champions of Africa Nation Cup. You know that. We are now 3 stars. Okay, let's be serious. I'm Adama Film Commissioner from Côte d'Ivoire. And my main gig is to get filmmakers excited to shoot in Côte d'Ivoire. That is my main gig. And I'm here to tell you why Ivory Coast or Côte d'Ivoire is now the paradise for filmmakers. Yeah. I'm here to show you and to give you more information about my country, about public policies we have to improve our film industry.
Okay, so we'll come back to that in a moment. But just so we can have an intro from Filbert, just tell us a little bit about your coming from a different perspective in Rwanda. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Filbert Mbabazi Sharangabo, and I am a filmmaker from Rwanda. I have been making films since 15 years, and I have a film. I have a film playing here in the forum section. My first feature film is premiering in the forum category of the Berlinade. And I run Imitana Productions, which is a company that I created together with my friend in 2013. And we've been producing film since. Yeah.
Thank you. To both Adama and Filbert, why do you think it's important? I mean, the answer could be very obvious, but we want to hear from you on the importance of cultural sovereignty in film, and why do we need to consider that? Filbert, Adama, tu peux me répondre en français si c'est meilleur.
I will do it in English.
Perfect.
I'll do my best. I'm here for that. So, your question is about the.
Why, in your opinion, is cultural sovereignty important? That's an important consideration.
Okay, I will speak about film industry, not culture in general.
Okay.
So it is important because that we have to promote our vision of world. We have to promote it. I know that we are in modernization of world now, but we have to see our history. We have to encourage local producers or local filmmakers to, how can I say that, to tell about our histories. We have our places in this world. So it is important for our countries to have public policies by funding and by have laws to protect our tradition and our way of lives.
And yourself, Filbert?
Yes, I think it's really important for stories like African stories to be produced, and I think it's because film is it's a medium that depends a lot on financial means. It's a very expensive art form to make, and should we rely on the other people to fund our stories? It might maybe sometimes come with strings attached. So I think it's very important that we're able to produce, and also that the kind of collaboration we make gives us some freedom in the way we express our stories. Because when you're getting funded, if you outsource, if you leave the funding of your film to other people, then how would you be sure that you're expressing yourself freely? So I think it's very, very important that our government put money in the making of the film, but also that the kind of collaboration we make are the collaboration that are fair to the expression of African filmmakers.
Thank you. So, two very different perspectives, because I know that there are different setups in each of your countries. Can you tell us specifically how public policy is helping to promote the creatives and work with creatives?
Okay, in my country, the first thing our public policy has done is to create a fund. We have FONSIC, in French, Fonds de soutien aux initiatives cinématographiques. So it is not a big fund, but it helps filmmakers from our country and from filmmakers from around our country to get money for the film. And perhaps Enrico will tell you about our collaboration to improve the amount of this fund. And for this year, we create again, I speak as my government, we create another fund, is a private fund between filmmakers and banks. It permits banks to finance films without guarantees. And also, public policies in my country works for infrastructure. In his speech, our president said that for this year, he has money, he has secured money for La Cité du Cinéma in University. So innovation and cultural city. It is a big project where we have studio for filmmakers, incubators, and so many efforts. It is about $60 million, and the finance is ever secured. So it is to give filmmakers an infrastructure to produce without waiting for money from outside. And we manage also to have laws on copyright and anti-piracy. So this is the main action we done with training. As far as I'm concerned, I get money from German corporation for the training of 150 technicians this year.
Wow, 150.
Ever secured. We will begin before the training in the month of May. So that's why I think that with these actions, we can get our sovereignty and plus perhaps do more than that.
Sure. And coming to you, Filba?
So what's happening in Rwanda is a bit different. So for so many years, most of the Rwandese filmmakers have been self-producing. So the many short films we've seen, the many feature films we've seen, done by Rwandese directors was self-produced. But in the last years, there was a political will to support cinema. So a fund has been put in place. And I think it's a collaboration between the Rwandan government, the GIZ, and the Francophonie also, which is supporting. So now we start to see film being funded locally, which we have never seen before. Because Rwanda also is trying to be anyways a destination for foreign productions, but they have understood that without having a local production community, a local industry that's functional, it's going to be very hard to just have foreign production coming to Rwanda, because why not go to Kenya where you have everything, you know? So there is this political will, a big need to support the filmmakers, and it's like early stage. So let's see where it's going. But apart from that, also we've been, of course, relying on the foreign co-productions to be able to make our films. And also in that case, there is the Francophonie, for example, in my case, which helped me, which supported me to finish my film. Because when I made my film in 2023, we shot and ran out of money. We self-produced the film. Then we needed to finish the film and also to do the post-production. Mm-hmm. And that's where we can get stuck also, because most of the post-production options are not in Africa, like for an African film. There is, of course, now emerging post-production facilities, but without that kind of support, it could be very hard to finish a film properly.
Thank you. So Cyrielle has just joined us. So can you just give us a quick intro into yourself? And also, we'll do the intro and then I'll ask you.
Hi, so sorry. I was running from my last meeting. So I'm Cyrielle Raingou. I'm a filmmaker from Cameroon. I'm a director, producer, and I have actually a film project in the market that we talk about.
What's it called?
I'm coming for you. Or pour toi, je reviendrai in French. So my previous film was Le Spectre de Boko Haram, the Tiger Award at Rotterdam, the first ever Tiger Award for an African film in 50 years.
Wow. Amazing. So the question I wanted to ask you, I just asked the others, is to tell us about the situation in Cameroon with public policy amplifying creators' voices or helping and supporting filmmakers.
Yeah. So it's very tricky. We had in the past year until the 90s, we had the fund that we call Le Fodic. It was the golden era of Cameroonian cinema with a lot of film that was a good success. But after that, the fund was shut down. And from there, it became more, let's say, people was relying a lot in the equities. And today, there is a fund from the Ministry of the Culture that support art in general, but it's so hermetic that we definitely don't know how it works and how you can get it. But some might get it, and so we mostly rely on the international public fund to make our films exist.
So, for yourself, I'm going to stay with Cyrielle. Sorry. How did you get your project off the ground in terms of funding?
Yeah, so it's like hustling all the time. This is producing in Africa is always hustling. So mostly it's like to make the project have a very higher quality, to be competitive in the international market, because we are going to the place where all the big cinemas are going to look for fundings. For instance, with I'm Coming For You, that we already have, we are halfway on our financing, and those halfway, like almost 500K, was raised by the Cameroonian, our film company. So yeah, we are going to, for instance, OIF, that is the fund that has been supporting African film project from the Francophone side. And we also had the fund here with World Cinema Fund, with Vision Sudes in Switzerland. So we have to go and look to the funds through international market, but it does work. And the good thing is given to us, like to me, to have the final word when I'm discussing with other producer. I make sure to have a certain amount of fundings before going to look for a co-producer. So, and that changed absolutely the dynamics, the power of how they talk to you, because they're talking to you with somebody with money, you know.
Yeah. So
it's completely changed the dynamics.
Okay. Can we hear from you, Philbert, on the same thing? How did you get your film made? Because the support wasn't yet there, was it, when you started?
Yes, thank you. When I started already in the writing phase, I was trying to write a film that I can shoot even if I don't get funded. So I worked within minimalism. I set 70% of the film in one house because I was sure like I can get my crew to live in the house for 30 days, a few people, and we shoot a film with the actors. Yes. So from the writing already, it was clear for me that I might have to greenlight myself into production. And I did a few labs for development, but then I jumped to the funding part. I wrote and directly went to shooting, and it was not an easy process. Because also the idea is really that even though in Rwanda the industry is emerging, we're trying always to remunerate people, to pay people when they work, because we cannot advocate for a sustainable industry when people are working for free. So the idea was to try to find within, my proximity, some basic funding I can use. And I think we were able to shoot with 25,000 euros that we were able to together. And we shot 70% of the movie, and we edited. And then started to look for funding to complete the 30%, while also we are looking for funding for post-production. So it was a tricky situation, very unusual. Yes, and in the process, we now got some support. By the time we had footage and everything, we were able to gather some support.
I just want to add something. At the end, when he showed the first images of his film, he got the money because the film is amazing. You must see this film.
Wow.
Thank you.
Changing the topic a little bit, Adama, we have a lot of producers in the room. Do you want to tell us why they should consider shooting in Côte d'Ivoire?
Wow. I say that Côte d'Ivoire is now a paradise for filmmakers. If you're looking for amazing beaches, if you're looking for locations, if you're looking for money, if you're looking for crews, come in Côte d'Ivoire. We have a lot of things to share. You know that Black Tea, last film of Abderrahmane Sissako, is shooting in Côte d'Ivoire. In June, we'll have a release of, I think, Les Damnés de la Terre from Jean-Pascal Zadi, a film produced by Gaumont. It is, I think, 60% was in Côte d'Ivoire. Mm-hmm. We have now, I can say, a lot of opportunity for filmmakers to come in Côte d'Ivoire. I'm not here to speak only about locations, but we have another facility. So if you want to come and you have a crew, my job is to help you to get visa in 3 days. I can help you also to get permits for specific locations. Even if you want to shoot in the airport. We're working now with a great French producer to shoot in a military camp. Yeah, we have now more opportunities for you. So I'm happy when I say that we are paradise. It is true. Before I'm coming here, I was with Zika Laplaine, a producer from Congo. Unfortunately, he was not able to shoot in Congo because of the situation. But he called me and he said, I want to shoot in Côte d'Ivoire. Can you help me? And only, I think that 3 weeks, we managed, and he hands a shooting at Grand Bassam.
Wow.
Grand Bassam is, if you know France, it is like Cannes. So, it is UNESCO heritage. So, if you decided to come in Côte d'Ivoire, you have also tax incentives. It is not a tax rebate or tax shelter, especially for film production. No, it is a global law for any investors who want to come in Côte d'Ivoire. And we have a kind of one-stop shop to study your files in only, I think, 3 days. And Pate Bessie, the cinema promoter, open now, I think, a great cinema with 6 screens. It was not easy at the beginning because of another competitor. It was not easy. But at the end, they open the cinema with 6 screens, and they get a lot of tax rebates. So that exists. If you come in Côte d'Ivoire with our own co-producer, you get access to our funds. Even if you have not a co-producer, but we can study how you can get money. We have an example with Apolline Traoré from Burkina Faso. We shoot 2 movies in Côte d'Ivoire, Derance and Frontier, and she gets money, even if she was not an Ivorian filmmaker. So we have a lot of things. I'm here to speak with you after this meeting. We have to discuss. I'm here till next Wednesday, and I will be hoping to to show you more things. We have a little film, a little movie that perhaps you will see it. You will see 2 or 3 movies shot in Côte d'Ivoire, and you will see how beautiful is my country.
Thank you. She's not here, but as you work with her, do you want to quickly touch on the work of Lison and what they do and how they work with filmmakers? Because it's parallel but different.
Okay, Lison Diomande is the director of ONACSI. ONACSI is the Office of National Cinema, and her mission is to promote local filmmakers first. Secondly, to help governments to make our country more attractive for filmmakers. Secondly, thirdly, she works to build infrastructures and to promote more festivals and to help our filmmakers to get festival. For the next FESPACO, we select 11 filmmakers, young filmmakers to go there. Everything is paid by our government. We will come to FESPACO to discuss with people, perhaps with Filipper, to know how they can be tomorrow. The filmmaker will be here at Berlin. You see, so her work is to make our country a country of filming. And she asked me, as a little producer, Adama, can you help me to promote outside of the country? That's now I'm a film commissioner.
Nice, thank you. Philbert, can you tell us a bit more, because your project is at Berlinale. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, thank you. So, what do I say? Okay, so the film centers around a story of a dancer who has ambitions to become a musician, and this young, ambitious, aspiring musician gets the sad news that his boyfriend has passed in the beginning of the film, and throughout the film she's battling, she's struggling with mourning while she's in the process of creation, and also how the two influences each other, how the songs she creates are influenced by this, but also the film takes place in this house that belonged to the dead boyfriend, and there is always a presence of the boyfriend around this group of friends who now live together in the house. And yeah, I will maybe reveal that much for now. And you can come watch it. We are premiering on the 19th. Yes, we are premiering there.
What time?
At 9 in the evening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Cyrielle, do you want to tell us about your current project as well?
I'm coming for you. Pour toi, je reviendrai. It's the next chapter after Le Spectre de Boko Haram, because the story takes place in the same place, but from the women's perspective. It's a film about womanhood. So it's the story of Kaltumi. She's 25 years. She's a mother. She studied in Japan. She installed solar panels in the villages. She has a customized motorbike, the Honda CMX 500 Rebel. And she's forced to trade with Boko Haram terrorists. Once those criminal activities are revealed, the chief takes advantage of that to get rid of a woman who is too free for their society. So he took away her baby, cast a spell on her, and that spell makes her breast swell day by day. So she embarks on a journey of initiation to go back to her baby. And in that quest, she received the help of a group of women living at the end of Sahel, the beginning of Sahara Desert. That group of women fight against terrorism and any form of patriarchal society. So that's it. It's a drama fantasy.
Thank you. Okay, so maybe
And just one thing, we are halfway of the financing, and we are going to shoot at the end of this year. So we are looking for additional partner to complete our fund. So come to Cameroon, and you will be amazed by everything.
Thank you. So we just have a couple of minutes left. So I wanted to know if anybody had any questions for the panel here.
Hello, everybody. Thanks. Okay, I'm Paul. I have a question to Phil, the filmmaker, and now also Cyrielle, the filmmaker. So maybe you can give us a bit of impressions you have how the industry, the German, European, but also international industry representatives are looking towards your projects. How do they receive it? How they also sense future potential to collaborate with you personally, but also with your fellow filmmakers from the region?
So yeah, the things like starting by knowing what you want as a filmmaker or African filmmakers, like we are in the counterculture of breaking with this classicism, African classicism narrative we have been seeing, and that is, for me, far away from the reality, the very complex reality we are dealing with in Africa. So the idea for now is to try to find the equality in the partnership. Like, for instance, with I'm Coming For You, the idea was, and still, to have the crew for the production phase all African, all sub-Saharan. And this has been since the beginning my policy, and all the partner we have today knows that the creative for the production phase belongs to sub-Saharan, and they come for the post-production. So this is just like knowing what you are looking for. We are in the phase where we need equitable discussion. And this is a case study, and so far it's been working. So I want people to come to work in Africa with really bold director, producer, but who knows what they want, that who are not satisfied in the way the production or co-production has been going, and who need a new deal. So.
That's you.
Yes, I think it's kind of the same perspective I have. Maybe what I add is that in the context of Rwanda, we've been trying also to shoot lower budget films so that we can have artistic control. And the partners we've been having also are the partners who we're looking for equality in the co-productions. But it's very hard when you're getting most of the money from outside. So we're trying to be in a situation where you're not like entering a co-production and handing a project in the hands of the co-producer for them to make it happen. So the idea is, how can we be equal in the production? And you cannot just claim it by words. You have to put together a system that helps you from the environment where you are. So this is why we've been also betting a lot on minimalism and being able to enter production potentially, sometimes without partners. But when we have partners, we've been looking for partners who understand our approach, but also the aesthetic. The aesthetic is very important for us. And even from this minimalism thing, which is not just about money, it's also about how it influences the aesthetic. How does the film become more personal? And stay in your hands. So that this is the approach we've been having. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We don't have any time for any more questions or anything else, but I'd like to thank the wonderful panel here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank the wonderful Simone McIntyre.